Squatch Senior back here, getting ready to start disassembly for day 4. As you can see, got this thing put on the engine stand. I did take that back plate off. Figured that would give me more room to get the back, as you can see right here, the back seal assembly out, and then to lift the crank out without that interfering me anyway. Gonna take a few more accessories out the front. I got the oil filter, breather tube, side cover for the tappets, front cover, pulley, and on this side I've got the cover over the water jacket. So we'll start getting some of that stuff off. Project is kind of getting a little long-winded here, but with operating camera and stuff, it takes a lot of extra time. So okay, I'm gonna get started just loosening some stuff. Probably won't go into a lot of detail on this. Pretty basic, straightforward stuff to do. Okay, got a few pieces loosened up here, ready to take off. First off, we'll get into the oil filter assembly. Already got the filter and canister off. And we'll get the rocker cover assembly out of the way. Looks like we're already loosening up on this. Nothing serious. Things are looking pretty clean in there. Next up, got the pan over the water jacket. It's just a stamped piece of steel, so you got to be fairly careful. You don't want to bend it if you can help it. Kind of curious to see how clean it is in here. Yeah, it does have rust buildup. It's not horrendous. I have seen considerably worse, but after we get things teared down and cleaned up, probably take the pressure washer in there and give her a good clean and then have a good look at her. Next up, we'll be working on the front pulley assembly and the front cover. I did try this cross pin in here. You see a screwdriver type slotted set screw. I did try to loosen that with no success. Probably going to take a little bit of heat to get that done. Now I'm thinking what they did, you can see the ramps on this front pulley. That front pulley runs the power steering assembly. Now I'm thinking what it is they lock this front pulley on with this cross pin, which is also used for the hand crank. So next order of business, get this front pulley off, and then we'll be working on the front cover. Okay, everything's set up here to go. I'll put some heat on that set screw. See if we can get that loose. Okay, got her to budge. I'm going to let her cool down before I go any farther. Okay, this has cooled down for a while. I do not like to take that off hot. You can weld them threads together and then you got serious trouble. So once you break that thing loose, you're better off just letting her set, cool down, and go back to it later and see what happens. Let's see if we got her loose enough. Oh yeah, she even snapped again. Coming right out. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can slide this pin off and get this pulley off. Okay, set screw's loose. What I did, I took a brass punch and I hit this against the cam so it loosened up. I have the pin loose. As you can see, the pulley's starting to come loose, so we'll see if we can finish getting that pin out. Then we'll take that pulley off. Yeah, looks like part of my pin broke off, so that might solve part of my problem. See what happens. Okay, there we go. A lot of dirt behind there. Gives me access now to the nut on the crankshaft so I can get the other pulley off. Okay, under further inspection, that roll pin did not break. They got a double roll pin in there, half each way. So anyway, I'm not sure if I like the roll pin in there. I put this back together. I might just do a solid pin, put it in with a set screw and maybe some Loctite. We'll see what happens when I put her together. Okay, I did some looking in, might be of interest to some of you guys out there. Kind of interesting the way they put this power steering pulley on. As I said, you can see how it's ramped here on this side. On the back side, they have it machined out to center itself with the crankshaft right on the outside of this main pulley here. So all they do is they put that in there, it's centered. Find your low spot on your ramp, put your pin in, lock it down, and take and tap it right there on the cam, and it tightens that pulley right into the main crankshaft pulley. It's kind of an interesting setup. And I'd see for a fact this thing has been into before. Somebody's put the front nut on with a hammer and a chisel. You can see how it's all chiseled up there. I should have a socket to fit that, so I'll take the lock loose, get the socket that fits that, and we'll take it off the way it's supposed to be. Okay guys, a little drama in taking the nut off in the crank pulley here. Tried to get her loose, she would not budge, so I did put some heat on her. I got it to move back and forth a little bit, but it just acts like there's gold threads in there. I'm not sure if that hammer and chisel probably caused the problem, it's my guess. Still assuming this thing's got a in the block overhaul, and I think this might be why it had an in the block overhaul, is because they couldn't get this nut off previously. So anyway, we're going to take torch, we're going to cut a slit in her to loosen the thread up and see what happens from there. Okay, waiting for this nut to cool down. Figure might as well take this pan off. I don't want to start cutting on that until it gets cold. Put a couple catch bolts in here to catch it. Okay. All yours. No surprises in the pan. I don't even see any hardly sludge buildup in there. Looking good there. Okay, pulling the oil pump out and starting on the rear main seal parts. Both halves of the rear main seal plate coming out.
There we go.
Yeah, I stepped away from the project here for 3 hours. Other things did kind of reevaluate what I want to do with this front nut on here. I was considering torching. I have had real good luck in the past torching without wiping threads out. I think what I'm going to do is drill. I'll center between the flat and the threads. I'll just start small and work my way up until I find threads and see if I can split that nut. I'm pretty sure it's galled in there. If you can split it, that usually loosens them up enough to take the thing off. Did a little evaluation on a rod bearing. We took this cap off. Things look pretty doggone good in there. Not much wear on that bearing. It is a 2000 undersize, so the crank looks promising for a regrind, and I definitely don't want to wreck it by just wiping the threads out up here. So I'll see what I can do. I'm going to do some drilling and stuff and see if I can get that nut off of there. Okay, I've got it center punched and spotted where I want to start drilling. I'm going to do the first hole. What I'm going to do is I'm going to gradually increase bit size until I can either see the threads or come through the top. And after that, I'll see if I can split that. Okay, I broke through the back side. This did back off a little ways. My washer is loose back here. That's my indicator. That just started to wiggle, so I know I'm all the way through. Okay, I'm going to start increasing bit sizes. I'll get back after I get her about where I want her. Show you guys how I've progressed on this later. Okay, I've got the hole drilled. And look in there, you can really see how close I am to threads in the upper part there. I don't quite see threads yet, so I think I'm going to quit there and excise up. What I did, I started out with a 3/16 hole. I went up by 30 seconds till I thought I was kind of close, and I dropped down to 64ths at a time. Ended up with, like I say, started with 3/16 bit, ended up with a 23/64. Got a sharp chisel here. We'll see if we can start on the top, and the wedge action of the chisel should spread that nut. If everything works according to plan, we'll have a go at her. So far the top is splitting easy, but I don't see the bottom spreading on me. Well, the nut is turning on there, so hopefully we got a crack in the bottom. I'll put the socket on and see what happens. Well, she is looser. Now I'm going to get a bigger chisel, and I think I'm going to see if I can spread that by the wedge action of a thicker chisel. Okay, I can see the crack in her now. Yeah, with splitting the nut, it expands it, so this should get it. It's coming off. Hopefully we're not taking threads with it. Okay guys, there it is. Well, you can see the back part where she's kind of galled in there. That's definitely my problem. That's why she wouldn't come. Threads in the crank are looking good. Take the washer off, get in there a little farther. Yeah, I like that. I think we got her made. Okay, we got the puller out, stuff. See if we can get this front pulley off. I do see a little bit of galling on the threads right there, so I'll probably have to do a little thread filing. Anyway, I cleaned the center up on the crank. You don't want to put a puller into there, you want to protect that. Not sure what the machine shop does, if they use centers on this or if they just index on the outside. So what I do, we got these slugs when we do a hole in steel. We save them, it makes a good push block for a puller. So I'll put that on there. This is the manual's procedure. I don't like pulling on pulley flanges like this, but we'll tighten her up. And if she gets too tight, we'll think of something else. But if she comes right off, no big deal. Oh yeah, she's moving easy. No problem. Okay, looks good. Okay, let's do a quick rundown on what I did here. First off, I drilled the nut, took chisel, spread it. You can see how close I was to both sides. You can see the inside here. We'll get some light on it there where she cracked open. Didn't quite make it all the way through the back, but wasn't no big deal. So I took the chisels, started hammering it in, the wedge action, spread that nut just enough to get it loose. Evaluating the threads on the crankshaft, as you can see, there is some galling that happened. So if I'd have kept forcing that nut out, I could have wiped the threads off on that crankshaft. Anyway, what I'll do, I got some thread files. We'll clean that up. We'll get another nut. I'm sure we can find one in the used tractor market. That should be no big deal. There's a lot of these M's around. So we'll do that, test fitter and stuff. But I think as far as I'm concerned, I'm not worried about these threads at all. So looks like we had a successful mission on this one. Okay guys, I'm going to call this the end of day 4. That pulley took a little longer to get off than I had anticipated, and took a lot of extra time that I wasn't planning on, but it is what it is, and you just got to expect that kind of things with these old engines. This old guy's getting kind of tired, so we're going to call her quits for today. And day 5, we'll pick up, we'll get this front cover off so we can check the cam gears, see how kind of looseness is. We'll start checking some clearances on the rods, mains, see what our bearings look like, and probably getting into miking the crank and stuff to see what we got. Stay tuned, day 5 coming up.
Hey everybody, this is Squatch back here again. I want to thank you all for watching, and I also wanted to let you know that I've started a playlist for the Super M engine rebuild project. So in case you are either new to the channel or new to this rebuild series, I've made a playlist, so all the videos for this project will be in one place. Just go to the channel main page. You'll find the playlist there. I have a playlist for every major project I have going on the channel right now. There's one for X231, there's another one for 5J1113. So in case you are wanting to see all the videos in order from start to finish on any one of those projects, this one included now, there'll be a playlist to help you do that. Thanks again, everybody.